Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, and today we have some Overwatch. This is actually the new class-based FPS game by Blizzard, and it's actually going to be going into open beta starting tomorrow, May 5th, and it's going to be running all the way until May 9th, and it's going to be available on the PC, PlayStation 4, as well as Xbox One. So here's my caveat: I am not affiliated whatsoever with Blizzard. I'm not sponsored by them. I know it's odd that I have Overwatch footage here for Dear Nero, but it's a new FPS game that I was interested in playing. A friend actually sent me an early beta code yesterday, and I've actually been playing it, and it's a lot of fun. I think I put in like 5 hours or something like that so far, and I've been really enjoying the game, so much so that I want to just go play more. Like, while I was putting together the questions for this week's Dear Nero, I wanted to go play more Overwatch. It's actually a really fun game. I'm a big Blizzard fanboy. If you guys don't know, I have hundreds of days of playtime combined between Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, Heroes of the Storm. I've even dabbled in StarCraft and Diablo, so when they announced Overwatch, I was obviously going to be interested, and it's a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy the gameplay. Although, note, I'm not very good at this game yet. It actually is very difficult. And in the same way that it would be difficult for somebody to get into League of Legends or Heroes of the Storm and stuff like that, where you kind of have to learn how every particular hero plays because they all have their own separate abilities and unique traits and stuff like that. Overwatch is the same way, but it's an FPS environment. So there's all these different characters. I'm still trying to learn their names. I'm still trying to learn what they do and how best to play them. I'm playing as Winston right now, which I'm sure you guys have probably seen some marketing material for him. He's a big tanky space monkey. He's a really cool character. He's actually my favorite so far with Overwatch. So hopefully you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy the gameplay while we go over the questions for this week's episode of Dear Nero, which of course is the weekly series here on my channel where your subscribers send me in fan mail and or fan questions, and I do ask and answer them. We obviously have a ton of questions this week because Infinite Warfare, COD 4 Remastered, right, all this stuff has been coming out. So we're going to hop right into the questions where he's going to write Dear Nero. As I'm writing this, the trailer for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare currently has roughly around 6 million views. However, the likes to dislikes ratio is worrying because as it stands right now, the number of likes is around 150,000 and the amount of dislikes is around 170,000 and growing. My question is, do you feel the community is not giving this Call of Duty a chance and rather basing their assumptions on how Infinity Ward handled Ghosts, along with this whole new era of warfare and movement system that will go along with it? Would like to know how you feel about this, and sorry for the long question. Dragon from Pennsylvania. Run-on sentences, Mr. Dragon. They're definitely not anybody's friend, but I do get the point of your question, right? I'm actually going to go ahead and go to YouTube right now. Now we're going to type in the Infinite Warfare trailer, and I actually want to see, because the number that you gave me was actually from a little while ago, and I feel as though it might honestly be worse than what you were talking about, because last I knew, it was over 150,000, which seems absurd for the amount of dislikes on that particular trailer. So it's at the time we were recording this video, it's at 6.6 million views, has 161,000 likes, 222,000 dislikes. Wow, that is a lot. Now, when I first saw this, and people have been talking about this since the trailer has released, because it's had an above average amount of dislikes as compared to previous trailers, I thought immediately, it's like, well, I bet you every reveal trailer is like that. I could have sworn I saw a lot of dislikes on the last, for the Black Ops 3 trailer and for the Advanced Warfare trailer, so on and so forth. Turns out not so much. If you actually go and look at the other trailers, they all have a lot more likes than they do dislikes. This one is a lot different. Now, you could definitely chalk this up, I think, to a number of factors. Number one, people might actually not be happy with what they saw from the game, but I'm not entirely convinced that's the case. I'm not trying to be a COD fanboy here, although I'm pretty much a COD fanboy. I mean, if you see my YouTube channel, but I don't see that much negative feedback. Like, I see a lot of people saying, oh yeah, like, screw this, I'm only playing COD 4, I'm only playing Modern Warfare Remastered. I've seen people say they're tired of space, they're tired of this and that. But for the most part, most of the feedback that I see on my own videos and so on it's positive. I don't know. I don't see where there's 222,000 people, downloading the trailer. It's really odd to me. I think another thing it might be is, people, regardless of the fact that they're going to buy the game or not, they may just dislike it just to be part of the dislike group and maybe try to affect some change within Call of Duty, I suppose. Maybe if they see it this thing has a bunch of dislikes, perhaps they'll want to change certain aspects of the game. I don't know. But I feel as though, once people saw the video has a lot of dislikes, I think a lot of people will jump on that bandwagon as well. They'll continue to dislike it. It seems to be something that people do on YouTube. But now I'm not saying that's entirely the case for this particular trailer, but it is a little bit unsettling, I suppose, that the trailer has, give or take, about 60,000 more dislikes than it does likes. That's a lot. Just to try and give you guys an idea of how much that is. Like, I don't even get 60,000 likes or dislikes in a given month. Like, that takes several months for me to be able to get that many likes and dislikes. Yeah, it's kind of absurd actually how many of them that are actually on that trailer. Now, again, I'm not entirely convinced that that's actually going to be, the actual reflection of the opinion of the COD community. I feel as though a lot of people are just jumping on the hate bandwagon for whatever reason. I still feel as though a lot of people are going to play the game regardless, because that happens every single year. People say they hate the new COD, yet they play it relentlessly. I don't know. I wish I had a more concrete opinion, but I do want to point this out for you, those of you guys that maybe were unaware. Yeah, that trailer ain't doing so hot in terms of the dislikes. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous how many people have disliked that trailer. But again, if you go to YouTubers' videos, not so many dislikes there. It's kind of odd. So maybe the reason for that is because people are watching like my videos or another Call of Duty YouTubers' videos is because they're super fans of the series. So chances are they already like Call of Duty regardless. I don't know. I don't have these answers for you guys, but still pretty interesting. 222,000 dislikes, and I have no doubt that by the time this video actually goes live, there's going to be even more over there on that video. If you guys want to check it out, just look for the official Infinite Warfare reveal trailer on the Call of Duty YouTube channel. Next question, he is going to write, Dear Nero, I have a couple of questions. With the official reveal of Battlefield 5 coming very, very soon, what do you want and expect to see with the reveal? If you get the game, will you post gameplay of it? I really enjoyed watching your gameplay from Battlefield 4. Cameron from Texas, PS, have a good day / afternoon / night. Well, Cameron is 1:51 in the afternoon as I'm recording this, so thank you for the have a good afternoon. I hope you guys have a good day, afternoon / night as well. You're correct in saying that the Battlefield 5 reveal is coming very, very soon. In fact, it is going to be coming on May 6th, so there's 2 days away from actually this video going live. It's gonna be on May 6th, and I'm not exactly sure when it's gonna be happening. I think there's a website called battlefield.com/event as I'm looking at right now, but yeah, there's definitely going to be a reveal trailer for Battlefield 5. We're gonna be learning about the game. What do I want versus what do I expect? I expect it to be a lot more like Battlefield 4, something along those lines. That's what I know there's rumors going around that it might be like World War II and stuff like that, but I expect it to be every time I do an FPS game comes out, people make rumors that's World War II. But I feel as though it's going to be a lot like Battlefield 4. I don't think it's going to be like Hardline. They took a chance with Hardline. I don't think it paid off. Now, I could be completely wrong with that. I'm not entirely sure. It just, for me personally, it didn't stick with me. I didn't play it much after the initial release, whereas I put, probably like 100 hours or something like that into Battlefield 4. Like, I'm like, maybe more than that. I'm level 100 in that game. I'm past level 100 in Battlefield 4. Like, I played that game a ton. So I expect it to be a bit more like Battlefield 4. What do I want, though? I mean, that's what I expect. What do I want? I want it to be a World War II game. A brand new World War II Battlefield game would be insane. That would be so good, you guys. I would love that. If I get the game while I post gameplay of it, for sure, I'm definitely going to be posting Battlefield 5 gameplay nonetheless, because I actually am kind of partnered a little bit with EA through their Ronku program. So they send me their games early, and I play their games and make videos of them on my YouTube channel. So that's just kind of something that happens. And yeah, so we're going to be doing that. A couple sponsored videos, I suppose, for Battlefield 5 whenever that game comes out. So we're going to be doing that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, though, because, Battlefield's just a really fun game as a whole. Like I said, I'm like level 100 something in Battlefield 4. I played a bit of Hardline. The Cops and Robbers thing, it didn't feel like Battlefield to me. When I played Battlefield, I wanted to feel like Battlefield, right? I want tanks, I want jets, I want, helicopters and stuff like that. Like, just the feeling you get while playing Battlefield 4. It really doesn't compare to anything else in gaming. It's so unlike Call of Duty. It's so unlike any other FPS game out there. It's insane. It's ridiculously fun. And I want that experience again, and it would be awesome if they could do it in a World War II environment. So that's what I'm hoping for, but I expect it to be kind of a continuation of Battlefield 4, more or less. Next question, although it's not so much of a question, it's more or less fan mail. He is going to write, Dear Nero, I just want to say thank you. The recent months for me have been hard, but your videos always seem to cheer up long days. It constantly blows my mind how you can consistently create entertaining, creative, and upbeat videos after you have already made somewhere close to 3,000 all totaled. I'm sure you have to force videos sometimes, but I hope you never stop making them. It's crazy to know that I've been watching for 5 years, and I really feel like I know you in real life sometimes because of your constant energy and interaction with fans. I can't wait for that 500k mark, and I will support you no matter what happens. Keep up the great content, my friend. Michael from Music City, aka Nero for President. Thank you so much, Michael. I love getting messages like this. I know for a fact that you are a super fan because you send in like 4 questions every single week for Dear Nero, and you actually get featured just about every single week of Dear Nero because of the questions you send me. There's usually a really good one in there somewhere, and I know you're a super fan. I see you commenting on every single one of my videos. Those of you guys that are like big fans of my channel and people that are constantly watching my videos and commenting on them, I recognize you guys because even though I keep going up in subscriber count, I mean, in reality, my view count hasn't really gone up in years. It just kind of plateaus, I suppose, and stays about the same. So I only get, on average, a couple hundred comments every single video, and I read through them all every single video I post. And so if you're somebody that comments frequently on my videos, rest assured, I recognize you. I know that you're there. I recognize every single one of you in the comments of my videos. And it is crazy that I'm near 3,000 videos in total. I'm very happy that you still find my videos entertaining, creative, and upbeat. And yeah, almost 3,000 videos in between NerosCinema and Nero's Let's Plays, and just every day I keep working to make more. And I still love doing this as much as I enjoyed, making videos back in 2011, I think, is when I made my YouTube channel, but I've had channels even before that. Just YouTube is a passion of mine. It always has been. I think it's always going to be, because it's been so long. I've done so much of it but I still enjoy it, and I still enjoy every day, making more and more videos and whatnot. So I feel as though this is really just a thing for me, and I'm glad that there's people out there like you, Michael, that find my videos entertaining, because it's always great to have super fans like you, man. Thank you so much for your continued support of me and my YouTube channel. And yeah, just thanks a lot, man. You're awesome. Next question, he's going to write, Dear Nero, do you think that eventually, towards the end of Infinite Warfare's life cycle, that Infinity Ward / Activision will sell COD 4 Remastered separately? Thanks, Hayden from Minnesota. Hayden, for sure. I definitely think that's going to be an inevitability. Right now, they're going to be basically forcing people to purchase Infinite Warfare with Modern Warfare Remastered, and the reason for that is because they want to make more money. Obviously, they're going to make more money selling their games for at least $80 as compared to, selling Infinite Warfare for $60. It just seems to make sense, I suppose. But I do think eventually, several months down the line, they're going to sell COD 4 Remastered as its own separate thing, because that's just leaving money on the table. There's going to be people that just don't want to purchase that game right away. They're not going to want to purchase the Legacy Edition or the Digital Deluxe Edition or the Legacy Pro Edition or anything like that. They're not going to want any of that. Who would want any of that, right? If you're not somebody that even played COD 4 and you're not really interested in playing the game, why would you want to spend extra money to get the game you do want, which is Infinite Warfare, right? So it doesn't make sense for a lot of people. So I definitely think that they're going to lose a lot of money in that sense. So they're definitely going to, in my opinion anyway, make it so you could buy Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered separately, probably 4 or 5 months down the line. Now, I'm not saying that's fact. Obviously, I don't have any inside information. I'm just saying that's my prediction, because they're going to make a lot of money that way. If they make it so it's a separate game, like a digital download from the Xbox, PlayStation, or from Steam, make it $20 or something like that, I mean, people are going to purchase it. It's going to be a thing. So I definitely think they're going to do that. We're just going to have to wait a while. But yeah, as it sits right now, the only way to get access to Modern Warfare Remastered on its launch day is going to be through getting the Infinite Warfare Legacy Edition, the Digital Deluxe Edition, or perhaps like the Legacy Pro Edition. Next question, he's going to write, Dear Nero, in Black Ops 3, I have a terrible KD, like about a .73, and I don't know why I have such a bad KD, considering I walk out of about every 8 to 10 games with a positive kill-death ratio. Do you have any tips for me besides what you said before, which was play with your friends, watch gameplays with popular YouTubers, and etc., since it doesn't really work out too well? Any kind of advice will be appreciated. Aiden from Utah. So Aiden, I would say first things first, that a .73 KD is not that bad, especially if you're like a new player in the COD series. Like, that was roughly what my KD was when I first started playing Call of Duty, and you say that you go positive 80% of the time, right? That's not that bad, but your overall KD is still negative. That says to me, you're on the upswing, right? You were on the upswing. You were exactly where I was back in 2007/2008. So you used to go negative a ton, but now you don't. So if you just keep on playing, you keep on working, you can eventually get that KD ratio up to a 1.0. I remember specifically doing that back in Call of Duty 4. When COD 4 was life cycle, quote unquote, because it never really ended, what was over and World at War came out, my KD in COD 4 was .77. I remember that specifically because it's easy to remember, .77. And my KD now sits at like a 1.5, I think, in COD 4 overall. But keep in mind, I have like 120,000 kills in that game. Like, I have played that game a ton. And again, .77, I was tens of thousands of kills in the hole. I had to go positive, 10,000 kills to be able to just bring that up to like a 1.0 KD. And I eventually did that. I just continued to play every single night. I would do better and better and better. I'd go positive, like, oh, went positive 20 that game. Oh, went positive 10 that game. Oh, went positive 3 that game. Every single game, just trying to go positive until I eventually got myself up to a 1.0 KD. And I remember that specifically. It was a big, proud day for me when I got a 1.0 KD. And now, again, I've played that game so much, I have like 120,000 kills, that my KD is like a 1.5 or something like that in that game. So just keep on playing, and you're eventually going to realize that your stats are actually good. If you go positive 80% of the time, you're probably a good player, especially if you're playing the objective at the same time. So there's no real tips for me to give you, man. If you're going positive 80% of the time, you're a pretty good player as a whole. So that's pretty good. So with the next Call of Duty, with Infinite Warfare, I feel as though you're going to look at your stats, and they're going to be a lot better than what you had in Black Ops 3. And that's because I think you're selling yourself short. You're focusing so much on your overall kill death ratio But if you're going positive 80% of the time, you're a good player. You're going to be all right, I promise you. So just keep on playing. Just try to every single game go at least positive every single game. Just try really hard to go positive every single game, and while still playing the objective, of course, still trying to win. And if you continue to do that, eventually you'll get up to a 1.0 KD. And as somebody who did the exact same thing you're going through right now, where eventually you fight past all that and you eventually get up to that 1.0, it feels really good, man. It's really rewarding. So keep on working at it, man. I think you got this. Next question. He is going to write, Dear Nero, what are your thoughts on Cleveland's draft? Drunk Nugget from Pluto. So Drunk Nugget, I talk about this a lot on my Let's Play channel with my Madden series, but I'm a very jaded Browns fan at this point. As somebody who's been a Browns fan for a very, very long time, every single year, no winning records, no playoffs, 3 winning seasons in the past 25 years. Just, man, it's rough. It's rough to be a Browns fan, and I didn't pay attention to the draft this year. I really didn't. I didn't pay attention to the prospects going into it. I didn't watch SportsCenter. I didn't really pay any attention whatsoever. I did see the draft. The players look good. A couple of defensive players, a quarterback, which was interesting, and of course Corey Coleman, who looks to be a very good wide receiver. I'm excited for those players, I suppose, but I don't really know too much about them. I didn't really pay too much attention to the draft whatsoever. I'll probably learn about them through Madden, to be perfectly honest. I'll learn about the players a little bit more, and I'll probably take more of an interest. But just as of right now, I did not watch the draft. I didn't pay attention to the draft. I am so jaded as a Browns fan these days. It's really starting to ruin my enthusiasm for watching the actual sport itself. Like, that's how bad the Browns have been consistently. Every single year you go into it just knowing you don't have a chance. It's like... It's horrible, man. Next question. He is going to write, Dear Nero, do you still watch Wings of Redemption? Jackson from Australia. I do, Jackson. I actually just started watching some of his Fallout videos again just the other day. Most recent one I watched was the second episode of his new Fallout 4 series, where he's going through the game with the new survival mode. And I'll tell you guys, that man knows a lot about some Fallout 4. Like, he taught me more in 10 minutes of watching his video, which was a 50-minute long video. I learned more in those 10 minutes than I have in like my 100 hours of playing Fallout 4. Like, he has that game down to a science, and it's really interesting to watch. And of course, I like watching his Call of Duty videos if and when he actually posts them, and so on and so forth. I'm not a big fan of his podcast, but aside from that, I like watching Wings videos still to this day. He's one of the guys that got me into YouTube originally, so yeah, definitely still like watching his videos. The next question. He's going to write, Dear Nero, can you try playing DayZ? It's a really fun game. I think it would do well on your channel. Logan from Michigan. Logan, I've already played DayZ. There's already like 60 plus episodes of a Let's Play over on my Let's Play channel, Nero's Let's Plays. Now keep in mind, it is an earlier build of DayZ. It's DayZ from I think a year or two ago. But yeah, it's my friend Nick and I playing through DayZ. We would create characters together. We would meet up somewhere. Then we'd start recording and just have adventures in the world of DayZ. There's some really funny moments, some not so funny moments. Yeah, about 60 episodes worth of Let's Play, I suppose, of DayZ over on Nero's Let's Plays, where there's also lots of other games as well. If you guys don't know me, I'm telling you, if you ever want to watch me play games that's typically not Call of Duty, youtube.com/Nero's Let's Plays. I post over there pretty consistently, just not so much this past week, because there's been so much stuff going on with Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered that I just simply haven't had time to make videos for that channel over the past couple of days. It's been really insane. Next day and final question. He is going to write, Dear Nero, I recently went to the principal's office, and I was wondering if you have any good stories about going to the principal's office. You are the best YouTuber ever, and I've been watching your videos since 2013. Keep up the awesome work, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Nick from Ohio. So, Nick, I don't have a ton of great stories, although I should, considering I was at the principal's office a ton growing up. I just was. I mean, I was always down there for one reason or another, whether it being getting in fights at recess, or one story I suppose I have is refusing to sing in music class, which was just not my thing. I don't know. I didn't like it. Do they still have music classes in elementary schools these days? I honestly can't tell you. I don't have children. But we had music class, and sometimes we would mess around on instruments and whatnot, learn to play the recorder. I think everybody did that. But other times, we would just all sit in this big circle around the room, like all the chairs being a big circle, and we'd all sit there, and then we would sing songs and whatnot. And I would just kind of sit there, and a lot of people in the class would just sit there because I don't know, you're embarrassed to sing, I suppose. It's just kind of a thing, I guess, about being a guy, which sounds so sexist, right? I don't understand it. But just growing up, and there's something embarrassing, I suppose, about singing, and I didn't want to do it. So they would send me to the principal's office because I would refuse to sing in music class. Again, this is elementary school. And I actually got suspended because it happened so often. Like, every time music class would happen, I would have to go to the principal's office because I would refuse to sing. It was just a thing. And the principal actually suspended me for, I think, a day. Like, I got out of school suspension for one day, and she thought that this was really going to, teach me that I have to do what the school tells me to do. My parents were going to yell at me for getting suspended. Thought I was going to get in trouble. My dad, who is like a man's man, my dad has a beard down to his chest. My dad's got long flowing hair in the back. Like, picture a mountain man. That is my dad. Lives out in the country, hunts, rides four-wheelers. This is my dad, right? He doesn't care about singing. He didn't sing either back in elementary school, so he didn't care about that at all. He took me hunting that day, and we went hunting. I don't think we got anything, but we went hunting that day. And then when I went back to school the next day, the principal saw me as I was walking in class. She's like, so what'd your parents think about you having to be suspended yesterday? Because she thought it'd be a big thing. She thought, like, you know, some parents would have to take off work, or they'd have to find a babysitter or something like that. It'd be kind of an ordeal. I was like, oh no, my dad took me hunting. It was great. And she's like, oh, so your parents don't care that you're acting out in school? I'm like, no, my dad just doesn't care if I sing in music class, nor should you. And that was really the end of it. I think I would get sent to the office again, but they didn't suspend me because they knew it wouldn't really matter. So eventually I just didn't have to sing in music class. It was kind of great. But aside from that, I'm 24. I always was a troubled kid in school. I don't know if that'd be the right phrase. I was always going to the principal's office for one reason or another, whether it was, you know, not doing an assignment or acting out in class or whatever. I was always in the principal's office. I think I've told a story where I would always have in-school suspension. They would send me down to the office instead of giving me out-of-school suspension, because they know that's not a punishment for most people. They would give you in-school suspension. So they would put me in a computer lab off of the office, like down there where the principals and stuff were at. I would be in a computer lab all day. I was like, oh no, don't make me go to the computer lab. I would literally sit there, and this was like when I was still in high school, so it was like, what, 2008, 2009, 2010? I would sit there on the computer just looking up stuff. Like, yes, I talked about how I'm a J.A. Browns fan, but I'm a big fan of the NFL. I know every player in the NFL. I know, like, where they went to school. I know just a lot of the back history of the NFL and whatnot. I would sit there on, like, Wikipedia just reading articles, like, NFL.com, just reading stuff all day, every day. It was great. I loved in-school suspension. But, yeah, I used to go to the principal's office a lot. Elementary school, middle school, high school. It got to the point where I became friends with the principal. Every single principal, besides that one in elementary school, which seemed to hate me, they all seem to love me. I don't know why. I became like friends with my principal. It's like, oh, Joe, what are you doing down here? I'm like, I just forgot to do an assignment. You know how it is. And he's like, oh yeah, I know how it is. Just real buddy thing with a lot of my principals. So, might not have been a great story, I suppose, but those are some of my stories from going to the principal's office growing up. It just, I was down there a lot. I really, really was. I kind of liked it. I don't know. I didn't have to be in class, so I guess it was a little bit better. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude this week's episode of Dear Nero. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, please drop me a rating. And if you guys would like to submit your questions for the next episode of Dear Nero, simply send me a personal message here on YouTube. Or, alternatively, you could tweet me on Twitter at NeroTweets. If you guys will follow me on Twitter, what are you doing? If you don't have Twitter, what? Twitter, guys, come on, you guys gotta have Twitter. It's amazing. It's great. It's the other side of YouTube, people call it, and yeah, Twitter's a lot of fun. But if you want to tweet me on Twitter, it's at NeroTweets. Use the hashtag Dear Nero, and then you may actually have your tweet featured on next week's episode. Depends on if it's a good question or not. We only had I would say 4 or 5 questions actually sent in via Twitter this week, as compared to 30 or so questions that were actually sent in via YouTube. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed the Overwatch gameplay. Hopefully you guys were able to power through it, because I realize I'm bad at this game. But I'm hoping to get better, because I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. So, yeah, I guess that's going to conclude the video. Once again, guys, hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Drop me a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.